Welcome to the Long Shot and the Lock. My name's Thomas. This is my co-host Luke. We're just going to talk to you today about some NFL news and parlays, and let's win some money, guys. Jumping straight into it. We're not going to go straight to the parlays yet. We're going to jump into the Thursday night football game. Let's talk about that real quick. The Packers won 27 to 60? Yeah, 16, and they look phenomenal, guys. They look actually like a solidified top 3 team in the NFC. And they look like they could be scary contenders this year, guys. I don't know if that Michael Parsons trade might have put him over the top. It might have been one of those trades that the Cowboys thought they won, but it's looking more and more day and day that the Cowboys lost that trade, guys. Woo! Look, what do you have to say about that game?
I think the Commanders are in for a regression. I think last year they did great. NFC Championship game, Jaden Daniels looked great as a rookie. But I think it's time to start thinking maybe the Commanders aren't as good as we expect them to be. Jaden Daniels, what was the stats? 41, 200 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 2-point conversion, 7 carries for 17 yards. But I think also, Thomas, the Packers are legit defensively, and Matt LaFleur is scheming up some plays. I'm talking like Kraft was wide open multiple times.
Kraft, I thought he looked like Travis Kelce out there for a second. I was like, who was that? Kraft was looking like he's going to be in the number 1 tight end this year. The way he was playing in that game, fantasy football-wise, he looked like he was the stud. I'm not even going to lie. But just not even fantasy foot. This NFL-wise, he looked like a stud. He like 140, let's be specific here. He had 124 yards receiving off of 6 receptions and looked phenomenal, guys. Looked phenomenal. Also,
7
big
targets.
News out of this game. Big news that we're missing out of this game, guys. Eckler most likely tore his Achilles, so he's out most likely for the season. So that opens up the running game for Krosky or the other dude that they had running the ball. That they
Chris Rodriguez.
Nichols
actually
Josh
Nichols.
Rodriguez, and Krosky. But I think Krosky's going to take over this backfield at some point.
There's a lot of hype. They love Bill. The fantasy football community loves Bill, and I think you got this guy who was a 7th-round pick in the NFL draft. You picked him up late, and then he kind of got a lot of action during draft season. But man, I'm very excited for Ja'Cory. Yeah,
the kid played trash. I don't even know why they didn't use him this week. They used Eckler, and he wasn't doing nothing. And then he tore his ACL or his Achilles. It looked like it's not confirmed, but it was a non-contact injury out in the open, and it looked like it was an Achilles injury for him.
I just think the game got out of hand for the Commanders right out the gate. I mean, it was like the score really doesn't tell you what the game was. Like 27-18, it felt like a blowout. And they were passing a lot. Jaden Daniels with 42 attempts. That's a lot. Yeah, and they kind of ran away from the ball, running the ball. I mean, 8 carries for Eckler, 4 for Ja'Cory. 12 total attempts. The Packers are legit, man. I mean, if you got a running back going up against the Packers, I mean, I would watch out. That team's scary defensively.
All right, Luke, let's jump. Stop talking about the Packers because you know they're going to be good this year. Let's talk about some parlays. What the folks want to hear on a Saturday night, Sunday morning. Let's talk about some legs, Luke. Let's do you want to start with the long shot, or you want to go into the lock first?
Let's do the long shot.
Break it down. Go straight down the line, Luke.
All right, so tomorrow, Sunday afternoon, Ravens, Browns. I don't think we got to get crazy here. I know the Browns did pretty well with them. I think they beat the Ravens last year, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. Let's not overthink it. The Ravens lost week 1. There's no way they're losing back-to-back weeks to start the season.
The Browns do not have an MVP at work. They should have won that week. They should have really won last week. And I don't know. Josh Allen's built different. Don't overthink it. Ravens are winning that.
Niners and Saints. No Brock Purdy, no Kittle. Juwan Jennings is questionable. Saints, they looks like they were competitive against the Cardinals. I'm not really high on the Cardinals. I do like Kellen Moore. Again, we picked the Niners to win that game. Thomas, how confident are you in that pick?
The Niners still have a fighting chance when you have CMC. And we talked about this before. And Mac Jones actually played pretty good on the Jag. And he made Brian Thomas Jr. look like a stud. So I would assume he can make Ricky Pearsall look pretty good if Juwan plays. He just needs to be average because Christian McCaffrey looked healthy, guys. So don't overthink it. Saints, we all projected them to be the worst team in the NFL. Keep that same energy. Pick the 49ers.
Patriots, Dolphins in Miami. Key injuries, I don't really have any at the top of my head. I know Diggs is getting back from his ACL. He played 41% of snaps last week. Booty looked good. Patriots did lose that game. Dolphins looked god-awful against your Colts, who were in their jersey. I mean, they looked awful.
It was an understatement.
And I think Mike Vrabel is going to outcoach Mike McDaniels. We both picked the Patriots to win this game.
We did. And we're not even going to overthink this too much. Dolphins really did play bad, like you just said. It's unless they turn it around, which I hope they do turn it around a little bit, I think the Patriots still win it.
Another team that we picked to win, but they did not look good last week. The Bengals going up against the Jaguars. They're in Cincy. I do like the Bengals this week. Jaguars did look good against the Panthers, but it is the Panthers. Bengals always start off slow, but I don't see a world where Jacksonville goes in there and beats the Bengals, Thomas.
Bengals offense actually gets it together because they didn't even use Jamar Chase last week. So Bengals, do not overthink this.
We got a fun game here in Detroit. A reunion, they would say. Ben Johnson going back to Detroit. It's going to be loud in there, Thomas. Ford Field, Bears at Lions. It was hard for me to say the Lions. Thomas taught me into it. I am just biased when it comes to the Bears offense. I do agree with Thomas, and I feel confident in this pick. Lions win tomorrow. No way they start the season off 0.
There's no way you're going to, especially you blew a lead in the third quarter when J.J. McCarthy looked terrible. Bears looked like they were actually really, all of a sudden they just shut down. You cannot have those type of games against the Lions team that is hungry off a loss from week 1. And the Lions offense is way better than the Vikings offense. I mean, I can't say way better because you got Justin Jefferson, but Addison's out. Adam Thielen didn't look good. Hawkinson was damn near non-existent. So it was really Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason going back and forth and trying to keep it alive. And J.J. McCarthy came alive. But the Lions, I don't think you can stop Gibbs, Montgomery, and then you have J-Mo and Amon St. Brown. I think their offense is just better. It just comes down to the defense, and I think I'm going to give the slight edge to the Lions.
And again, respect to the Packers. Detroit went to Green Bay, and they went up against a really good team of the Packers. A very scary defense. I keep repeating myself, but man, those Packers look good, Tom. Bills going to New York to face the Jets, divisional game. Jets looked good offensively last week. They should have won that game. I think Justin Fields should have ran that ball instead of passing to Garrett Wilson. They would have probably won that game off a field goal, or was it to tie? Whatever it was.
That was
Jets
a good hit.
lost them that game. And I think the Jets look good. They're well coached. I do like Aaron Glenn, but it's Josh Allen and the Bills going to New York. You can't. It would be hard for me to pick the Jets.
Don't overthink this one either, guys. The Bills are just too good. Not when you have an MVP at quarterback like that.
Both these teams kind of had a weird game last week. The Rams are going to Tennessee. Matthew Stafford versus Cam Ward. Man, we picked the Rams to win, and I feel good about that pick, Thomas.
Anytime you have Matthew Stafford on the field, Devontae Adams and Puka, and their offense looked so. I mean, they didn't score a lot, but they still looked like they were starting to get the pieces together. So I'm going to have to say the Rams because I really didn't like the way the Titans played, but they did keep the Broncos. I thought the Broncos were going to blow them out, to be honest. I really thought it was going to be like a 40-10, and they kept it, was it 20-12 or something like that? It was pretty interesting, actually. So
ugly games for both teams last week. I mean, they both were in, I feel like the Rams did have a good, just the games they were involved in, they were just ugly games. Just normal week 1, shake off the rust. Matthew Stafford didn't have much of a training camp, if any. And then they kind of, I think the Rams are easily going to win that game.
You got to also think, Cam Ward got sacked 6 times, and the Rams' defensive front 7 is actually really slept on. They really are slept on. Jared Verse is definitely getting the sack. Sorry, he's gonna get in his head again this week. So that's just next game.
I agree with you. I agree with you. That Rams defense is nothing to play around with. All right, Thomas. Dude, this is an easy pick for us. Both Giants are going to Jerry World. Dallas. Whoa, I'm picking the Cowboys to win. I hate the Cowboys.
He didn't even hesitate. He said, whoa.
I hate doing that, man. I hate saying the Cowboys. I'm an Eagles fan, man. I fucking hate saying that. But
they're still the same division as the Giants. You gotta hate them all equally. But the Cowboys have looked better than that. I mean, the Cowboys, I think, but they only lost to the Eagles by 4. I think it's going to be and it was the delay of the storm that delayed the game that just killed the whole vibe in the stadium. It was good. Yeah. They were going back and forth, and then it just died after that. I think the Cowboys are going to have a phenomenal season. Giants look like shit week 1. Put your money on the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, we said it in the last podcast. I mean, Russell Wilson should be benched for Jackson Dart. And I got to give the Cowboys some credit. Like Thomas just said, they didn't play bad last week. They were scoring the ball, and then, like Thomas said, the weather delay kind of messed everything up. They got the muscles all tight. It went back out there, and it was like, all right, then punt for both teams. It was ugly ending, but
it started off beautiful. Touchdown. It started
Dude, it
off
was awesome.
a really good game. That was in that storm just killed it.
All right, next up, Thomas's Colts hosting the Denver Broncos. Thomas, who do you got to win this one?
I'll let you say this one because it would be biased for me to pick it. It really would be biased.
I feel good about the Colts. I understand the Dolphins are a dumpster fire, but we have to give credit to the Colts. One of the very few teams week one that looked very good offensively. Is it because the Dolphins suck, or is it because maybe the Colts have something there in Indy? And the Broncos didn't have against the Titans last week. They did not look good. I saw a lot of rust on that team. A lot of questionable play calls by Sean Payton. But we got to get some underdogs in here because if you just pick, you got to get some. You got to get spicy. I think Colts win that game. In Indy. They're playing in Indianapolis.
One thing I'd like to add is, only thing I was kind of going back and forth on the fence, even as a Colts fan, is Chardavius Ward is out, and so is Jalen Johnson. That's two cornerbacks. You're starting to be a cornerback one, and then your backup cornerback. So he would have started. But, Xavier Howard's still a good piece, and you still got Kenny Moore locking down the slot. You just have to hope the other cornerback can play halfway decent. So I still think they can squeeze
the Colts
get to
They got to get to Bo Nix, Thomas. And I think you guys got some play. Latu, get to the quarterback, make him uncomfortable.
Latu is injured on the injury report, too, but he did have a full practice on Friday. So I think he's going to play. Yeah, they have a good team. I'm honest, the Colts defense they spent a lot of money on that defense. People slept on it. They spent a lot of money on Byram and Ward. And then they went out on, what do you call it? They didn't even do bad against the Broncos last year. The Broncos, they almost beat them, and then they had to just get blown out in the halftime for some reason. So put your money on the Colts. I love my Colts. It's hard to say. That's why always that Luke picked the Colts.
I think, and then another thing, guys, I think that defensive coordinator that came over from the Bengals, I know the Bengals looked horrible defensively, but the coach can only do so much with the players that he has. That is a good defensive coordinator there. And a few years ago, that guy was at Lou something. Good defensive coordinator. That was a very sneaky pickup for the Colts. That's a good defensive coordinator.
Lou Amador, whatever his name is.
Yeah, really good defensive coordinator. The Panthers going to Arizona. We picked the Cardinals to win this game. I think it's pretty easy. I don't like what I saw out of Bryce Young last week. Again, he just had that spurt of good games after being benched by Andy Dalton, and we don't really have much of a sample size for Bryce Young. I feel pretty confident in this one, Thomas. Cardinals over the Panthers.
I do like the Cardinals. I really do like them. I like Marvin Harrison better. I like Trey. I think James Conner had a bad game kind of last week, but he was really good last year. So I think the Cardinals are going to win this game. I don't think, unless the Panthers kind of turn back the clock a little bit, kind of like the last 6 games last season where they looked good. But the first game of the year, they look terrible. Cardinals, don't overthink it again, guys. And
guys, America's game of the week. The Philadelphia Eagles going to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. No Worthy, no Dallas Goedert, but they still have, or the Eagles still have, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts. And, of course, the Chiefs had Mahomes. And I know Travis Kelce kind of look washed, but they do have them. And then Hollywood Brown looked good. But those weapons on the Eagles, man, Thomas, it's hard not to pick them.
Listen, Mahomes is a Hall of Famer even before he retires. It doesn't matter. Kelce's a Hall of Famer. I love their defense, but Pacheco looked bad, guys. I have a lot of family that's Chiefs fans on my wife's side. But I have to say it. You always have a chance with Patrick Mahomes, but the Eagles are going to win this game. I'm sorry. Sorry for the hype build-up, but the Eagles are going to win this game just off the fact that the Eagles smothered them in the Super Bowl. And now Mahomes doesn't have his top 2 receivers, so now it's going to be rough again. Hollywood Brown's going to be covered by Quinton Mitchell. Mahomes is a magician. He was going to make it kind of close or competitive, but at the same time, I don't see a world where the Eagles lose to the Chiefs. So, yeah.
All right, another fun game tomorrow. Sunday Night Football, back-to-back primetime games for J.J. McCarthy. That's shocking. The Falcons are going to Minnesota. One hell of an atmosphere out there in Minnesota. They do a great job, the fan base over there. They love their Vikings. But I think the Falcons are going to go in there and break some hearts. We got the Falcons beating the Vikings tomorrow.
I do like the Falcons. I love Bijan. I like, honestly, Michael Penix, or how the fan base is saying, Michael Penis is he's looking good. He really is. You got to love him. So, I do think with Drake London, that's the funny thing going around. They're saying there was an acronym I was seeing that they were like, there are a few letters off. You know how they had Michael Vick? Yeah, people were joking that was Michael Dick. Now it's Michael Penix instead of Penis. But either way, I think there's a world where the Falcons come in and pull this off because of the Falcons, Drake London. Now Mooney's supposed to actually play, supposedly. Yeah. And now you
No,
have
he's playing.
I think there's a world where they kept it close with the Bucks. Falcons will win this game.
We're in for a treat Monday night. You got to get through your workday, and then you get to come home and watch 2 games of Monday Night Football. I personally really don't like having 2 games. I like to have that 1 game Monday Night Football, but we have 2 games. We're going to do the Buccaneers going to Houston to face the Texans. I think this is an easy pick, but they are the underdog. The Buccaneers is our pick to go to Houston and beat them.
Yeah, Texans look bad. Nico only had like 5 targets, something like that. He didn't play so good. I don't know why they didn't target him. Hayden Higgins didn't so good. So Nick Chubb played average. You can't play average against a team like the Bucs who are going to come in. Baker brings that energy. Mecca looks solid. Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer. He's one of the GOATs. I think the Bucs just have the edge here, guys, against the Texans. And I'm not a Texans hater because I'm in the Colts division or anything like that. I love C.J. Stroud. I don't think he had a slump last year. I think he was unfairly judged because he lost all his receivers last year, and he still brought them to the playoffs. So I give the Texans their credit. They have an amazing coaching staff and amazing defense, but they're just not going to beat the Bucs. I'm going to say
I agree. We both agree on that one. And then the final Monday Night Football games can be a late kickoff. They say 10 p.m. The Chargers are going to Las Vegas.
That game might finish at like 1 a.m. on the Eastern time. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's why I don't like that, man. I hate
late.
that.
And you got to think the game's not going to start at 10. The game's going to start at like 10:15, 10:30 because of the all the pregame stuff they do. So it's like it's 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. A game ending is crazy, guys. It's past my bedtime. Crazy. I'm an old man. Chargers are gonna win that game, guys. Don't fool yourselves. Don't think that the Raiders are looking good. I don't care. The Chargers went in and slapped the Chiefs in the face. I would prefer the Chiefs are a better team than the Raiders, guys. Let's not mix this up. Chargers look phenomenal. Justin Herbert came in there and looked like he could be a good quarterback this year, top 5 quarterback. The way he was running and throwing, I thought the Chargers were going to come out running it. I thought Harbaugh was a running man. Everybody's like, he's going to run the ball. He threw the ball more than he ran it. So, guys, don't mix it up. Chargers look really good. I think they're going to not blow out, but it's going to be a couple tutties over the Raiders.
Well, Thomas, can you remind the viewers, listeners, how we did last week in regards to our long shot?
Technically we don't count so we went 13-3, guys. 13-3. The only game, we lost the Jets and Steelers game. We all seen that game.
Heartbreak.
Jets could have won that. That was a heartbreak. That was close. We all seen the Bears game. What the hell happened in the third quarter that J.J. McCarthy all of a sudden turned into Tom Brady, and then Caleb Williams all of a sudden turned into like Casey Keenum. Don't know what happened there. And then all of a sudden, the only game we really got completely wrong on you guys was the Lions versus Packers. That we are sorry about. We should have been 15-1, but let's be realistic. We blew that game. But 13-3 is our record. Over the week of last week, we went 12-4 on the games. That was close. I'm talking Thursday night and Friday night games and the Sunday games and Monday games all together out of 16 games, 12-4. That's high. That's actually really good odds. I love our percentage.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. And I feel really good about this one as well. I think this week was a little bit more difficult to pick the teams to win. Just, Purdy's out, Kittle's out. So I was it is the Saints they're going up against. Sure, we're a couple. It's just weird because you see good that you saw these going to be bad teams have good week ones. So it's like, do we are we overthinking it here? But I feel pretty confident in this, Thomas.
Luke has a very good point. I'm not gonna lie. Me and him are going through this and we're looking at it, but a lot of these games can teeter-totter either way, but you gotta be consistent and confident. So don't overthink it and let's win some money. All right, we did the long shot, guys. Now it's time to do the lock of the week. Me and Luke choose 3 each. That's how we always done it. I'll let Luke choose his 3 first, and then I'll go over mine.
All right, for the lock, and I feel good about these picks, guys. I feel really good. First one's gonna be Cedric Tillman over 45.5 receiving yards. They're gonna have to pass against the Ravens. Cedric Tillman did have a breakout game against them last year. Feel good about that one. Another one. Stephon Diggs, 41.5 receiving yards. He only played 41% of snaps week 1 coming off the ACL injury, but he still had 7 targets, 6 receptions, and I'm pretty sure it was plus 50 yards. I feel good about that one as well. And another one it's a sleeper one, but I do follow the Bears a lot. Olamide Zaccheaus, over 22.5 receiving yards. He had 7 targets last week with 4 receptions, and it was far over those receiving yard line. or the 22.5. I think he was in like 30 something. I feel good about that one as well. Now, Thomas, give us your 3.
My 3, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. Keon Coleman looked really good in week 1. We're not asking for a 100-yard performance. I'm just saying 3.5 receptions is all we need, guys. Wide receiver 1 on the Bills. We just need 4 catches. Then we're going to jump over to Wan'Dale Robinson. We just need 3.5 receptions, 4 catches. All we need is 4 catches out of Wan'Dale. And Wan'Dale, as we all know, is a target machine. Last year, this year, every year he plays, he always gets targets for some reason. He's not that superstar guy, but he gets his targets, guys. Don't overthink that one. And they're going to be probably playing from behind on the Cowboys, so they're going to be passing the ball too. And then last but not least, this could be a far-fetched one, but I think it is a lock. Christian McCaffrey, rushing plus receiving at 116. The first week he had like 130 yards altogether with no Purdy, and Jawan's probably playing injured, but no Purdy, no Kittle, possibly no Jawan. They're going to possibly feed Christian McCaffrey. The only reason he would miss this parlay is if he gets injured from the volume he's going to be getting in this game, because he's probably going to get like somewhere around 30 touches. He's probably going to get a lot of touches.
If he stays healthy the whole game, I think that line's pretty low. Like going up against the Saints.
If he plays the whole game, that line's smacking.
That's
the only way everybody in the world is curious about that would be just because his injury history. That's the only question mark. The guy has talent. So
let's go into the 4:00 games, Thomas. I'll start with my 3. You go with your 3. We only got 3 games. We're going to start off with the Broncos and Colts. We picked 2 from each game. I picked Troy Franklin for over 30.5 receiving yards. And then for the Panthers Cardinals, I picked Marvin Harrison Jr. over 45.5 receiving yards. And then I picked Tyquan Thornton. Without Xavier Worthy, he played 71% of snaps, 4 targets, 2 receptions. I think it was like 40-some yards. But I have him here for 24.5 receiving yards.
I didn't love that one at first, but the more he started talking about it, the more it grew on me. He played like 76% of the snaps. You have Mahomes at quarterback. I think he's going to be way more involved this week. But my 3 this week, we're going to start with the Colts game. Guys, don't overthink this one. Tyler Warren looked like a stud. We just need him to get 40 yards. We just need him to get 40, guys. Nothing crazy. 40 yards. That's it. And then we're going to jump straight into the Panthers and Cardinals game. I don't know why I love doing this to myself. Chuba Hubbard, rushing plus receivings. We just need 80 yards. Chuba Hubbard was a dog last year. He played pretty good week 1. I think he still got like 90 yards. We just need him to get like a good run or a good catch, and that's half the yards we need, guys. Come on. Don't overthink it. Last, jumping into the Eagles and Chiefs game, I did it again. I'm sorry. I did it again. Saquon Barkley, rushing and plus receiving, is at 107.5. If you go back, I mean, week 1, I think he had like 80 yards. But if you go back to last season, there was a stretch where Saquon had like 110, 150, 160, 130, like a 10-game stretch of like 100 yards. We just need it. 107.5 on the probably going to be a very competitive game. So they're going to probably feed Saquon with Goddard out a lot. Let's win some money, guys. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, and I think that's really all we have. We have a couple of touchdown parlays. We can, again, Thomas and I talked before this podcast started. We are not the best when it comes to touchdown parlays. For some reason, that's our kryptonite. I'm not sure what it is, Thomas, but we never, ever hit these.
We're here to try and break the curse, Luke. We did like an 8-leg touchdown parlay last week, and we did terrible. I don't know what it is. And they were like locked players. Like we were saying, Chase getting in the end zone, like Brian Thomas Jr., I think, getting in the end zone. Like the superstar players to get, and none of them really got in the end zone, which is like mind-blowing. I think we picked George Pickens. We thought with CeeDee Lamb being double covered, it would be wide open for him. Was not. So this week we said, you know what? Let's cut it down to 4 legs. Let's just throw $5 on it and see what happens. Luke choose 2, Wide choose 2. See what happens. Let's see if we can break this TD curse.
So I feel good about my 2. I feel good about all 4, actually. Really good. Ricky Pearsall is going to get in the end zone, and so is CeeDee Lamb.
You can't even deny those 2. Ricky Pearsall is the only receiver like on the Niners, and then CeeDee Lamb is probably wide receiver 1 this year easily. I think he's taking that jump. I chose Calvin Ridley. There's no way he gets shut down against the Rams like that. I think Ward's going to have to go out there and get this man the ball. I think he ends up in the end zone. I think he's going to have probably like 8 targets, like 6 receptions, and a touchdown. J-Mo, I think he's Jamison Williams on the Lions. I think he ends up in the end zone as well. Lions are going to come out passing that ball because At the end of the day, it's going to probably be a dogfight between the Bears and the Lions. I see it being a close game, but I think the Lions have the thing here, and the Lions are going to score probably more touchdowns. J-Mo in the end zone, baby. J-Mo scoring. Don't overthink it, guys. Love to see J-Mo in the end zone. We're going to jump straight. We did the afternoon games. We even were like, no, let's do one more. We're only going to do...
This is very spicy.
This is a spicy one, though, guys. This isn't like, oh, these guys are getting in the end zone, definitely. But we were looking at it, man, and we were like, let's just try to do something with like plus 200, plus 300 odds to see if we can hit it. Because if we break the curse with this, guys, we are back. We are back! So, Luke, I know you love this pick. I'll let you go out first with it because you were the one that spotted it before I said it.
This one's the spiciest one of them all, but it's in the Colts game. I am a big fan of this guy. PS2 is going to be guarding Pittman. Of course, I think Warren's going to get his. But I think the sneaky guy that maybe Sean Payton's overlooking in that during this game plan, Josh Downs to get in the end zone. I got here plus 350 odds. I like that pick a lot.
I can't disagree. He didn't play so good in week 1, but he did have an injury coming into the game. And plus, none of the starters really played in the fourth quarter because it was a blowout. Most of them were sitting on the bench by that time. Parlay number 2, leg number 2, Tet McMillan to score. It was plus 185. But Tet McMillan, 9 targets, 5 receptions. He looked like the only option on the Panthers. And it was the only one that really had plus like high odds. It was like everybody didn't really have super high odds. And we didn't feel super comfortable picking Xavier Legette. Not going to lie to you. Xavier Legette was something we were looking at to try to score. But at the same time, we said, let's try to choose Tet instead. He looks more safer of the spicy of the two because I don't think Legette is going to be in the league next year if he plays bad again, to be honest. Devontae Smith is one we chose together. It was against the Eagles and Chiefs. The Eagles are going to be, they already lost Goddard, so that's already like 4 to 6 receptions that are off the table right there. I think there's a world where Devontae Smith gets in this end zone. You heard it here first.
I like that one. Of course I like that one. I think Devontae Smith gets in there.
Everybody's going to be focusing on Saquon and Jalen Hurts. I think the play of the day is Devontae Smith, a 30, 40-yard bomb to the end zone. Touchdown. Because we know he's a speedy receiver. He's going to blow the top off. He's blowing the top off. Sorry to say. Everybody's going to be focused on the run game of Saquon, and then he's going to get that 40-yard bomb for the touchdown. Call me a wizard. I'm going to clip this video for Tuesday morning or Monday night, whatever. And you guys can be like, damn, he's like that. Call me Coach T. Call me Coach T, because I said exactly what the Vikings should have did to win the Bear. When the Vikings were playing dog crap, I texted my whole fantasy group, and I was like, yo, that you have a rookie quarterback. He had nine throws for like 5 or 6. They weren't getting him the short throws. They kept trying to go deep. I was like, the only way to get J.J. McCarthy going is to stop doing these little crappy runs and stop doing the deep bombs. Try to do like the short passes, the 5-yard pass, the screen passes, something to kind of open it up to where they kind of start playing up. And then they hit Justin Jefferson down the middle deep. I'm Coach T out here, baby. I'm Coach T. Just put me in the game, and I could probably out-coach the Raiders coaching staff. I don't care. I can coach half these teams. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm just that guy. I could probably out-coach Mike McDaniels. Mike McDaniels had a hell of a team. I don't know why he made them look so bad against the Colts. He made my Colts look like they were going to be the Eagles this year. All he had to really do is get Tua involved more. Probably throw a couple low routes to Tyreek Hill. Give Jaden Waddle still. I mean, Malik Washington still look good. I don't know. They have a good team. Even A-Chain. The Colts aren't notoriously good at stopping the run. You should have got A-Chain or Ali Gordon kind of going. So, I don't know. I think I could be a good coach. Maybe not the best coach, but I could be top 10 coaches in this league. I'll throw a little spicy tamales out there. I'll be throwing them left and right. You wouldn't even know what I'm running if I'm my formations, but we'll have to see. Definitely from that video that we said, though, from the coaches on the hot seat, Mike McDaniel's seat is the hottest. Bro. He is the hottest.
He's gone.
I don't think as much the Bills make Mike McDermott, but we were kind of, saying if he doesn't make the playoffs and he loses again in the playoffs, there's no question the Bills are making the playoffs. But if they keep losing, are they really going to keep the coach? If they keep going there and losing, what's the point? Mike McDaniels, if he starts off getting blown out again, I don't see a world where he gets midway through the season without being released. The players don't really respect him. I mean, he's not. I mean, they say he's an offensive genius, but what do you have, like 40 yards max on the Colts in the first half? Come on, guys. Let's be realistic. Gannon looked okay. I mean, I don't think the Saints will fire theirs. Who else do we throw on there for the?
So we put Sean McDermott, who got Josh Allen
Look,
Saved
that game was amazing.
Josh Allen's going to save his job, if anything. Jonathan Gannon. We had Mike McDaniel. We had, I forgot who else. We got, look at our TikTok page, guys.
I mean, the Cardinals did win week 1, I think, but Jonathan Gannon's going to fail to get his guys weapons. All they have is Marvin Harrison. They have an old-ass James Conner and Trey McBride. There's no other receiver outside of – they proved it. Outside of Marvin Harrison, they got Dortch, I think his name is, and they got Michael Wilson, who both played like crap. They have nobody else to throw the ball to. Kyler is not that guy. They need to come to the conclusion that Kyler is not top 10, top 15 quarterbacks in the league. He's a fantasy good quarterback because he runs the ball, but he's like 5 foot tall, flat. I say get rid of him next year, trade him, go get yourself another receiver and get a better quarterback, and maybe get a younger running back that could actually, run the ball. I mean, Trey Benson's okay, but get you a solid running back. I mean, James Conner is good, but he's always hurt. That's the thing. But he's so old and always hurt. So
I agree.
Yeah, guys.
We do appreciate you guys watching. We're going to clip it up to you. Go on our TikTok channel. We'll clip everything up. We're going to post the bets as well on our TikTok channel tonight. We're going to get to that right away when we get off here. And we thank you guys for listening.
Luke, I don't know if you want to do this. I know this is kind of last second. This would be a live reaction anyway. Do you want to do like a couple start and sits for the week or no? You can do it. We can add that in
starts and sits?
Like, choose we always do this. We don't like doing obviously people are going to start Jamar Chase and the Tyreek Hills, and obviously everybody's going to start the Goffs and the
Let's do sleeper starts.
Sleeper starts on the fly.
Like people that you could put in your lineup if you feel comfortable in.
It's gonna be on the fly, guys. I'm
How many do you want?
Let's do 2 to 3 each. If you can come up with 3, great. If you can't, just do 2.
Yeah, this is last minute, man.
Yeah, this is like last minute. This is making you think inside your bag, try to think about it, and try to come up with something. I'm going to have to say it. I'll come out first, guys. I'll come out first. Sleeper pick. No one's thinking about him. No one's starting him. No one's even still thinking about him. He plays for the Steelers. He's outside of DK Metcalf. Calvin Austin. I think he can do it, guys. I think I liked him last year. He had a lot of targets last week, and all his lines are even low. I mean, even if you look at put him in any parlays, I think he's at 3.5 receptions and only 40 yards. I think he could be that guy to get like 80 to 100 yards in a game because everybody's focused on Metcalf, and he's their speedy receiver on the outside. So Aaron Rodgers looked really good last week, and he proved me wrong. I am not a Rodgers hater, but I do believe in a Rodgers decline this season. I'll say that.
Mine's gonna be it's kind of a sleeper. I feel like he's a good bench spot right now, but I have no problem starting him. I'm starting him in multiple leagues. Cedric Tillman going up against Baltimore. I feel that's like a confident start for me. I think we're about to see a Cedric Tillman breakout, and he had a good week 1. He did have a drop pass that resulted in an interception that lost him the game, but I like Cedric Tillman. I'm actually probably Cedric Tillman's biggest fan. Cedric Tillman going against Baltimore, I think you should lock him into your lineups, but he is a sleeper.
One player I'm going to probably go into, it's going to be a Monday night football game. No one's thinking about starting him because he was hurt last week, and there was questions of if he was going to play, but he's playing, guys, and he played phenomenal last year with Kirk Cousins, so I could see him doing the same. He's the guy that blows the top off the edge again. Darnell Mooney, guys, don't sleep on Mooney. Mm-hmm. He was that guy that came in last year, and he would get like 15 to 25, 30, and he was just bombs. He would just catch those bombs down the field. All of a sudden, he was back in your fantasy league. So I think Mooney is that sleeper pick that no one wants to start him because they're like, his shoulder. He's a scat receiver. Let him. He's going to be flying. He's not going to be getting those probably short dump passes and throws over the middle. He's just going to get those deep bombs. I think there's a world where Mooney can get like 75 as well, 75-ish to 120 yards, probably like 6 receptions. Don't sleep on him.
We had Diggs in our parlay, but I have his teammate as my sleeper start this week. Kayshon Boutte, last week, 82% of snaps. They had to pass a lot last week. I understand that. And Vrabel likes to run the ball. But still, 8 targets, 6 receptions, 103 yards. And yeah, if you're playing PPR, that's 16 fantasy points. I think he continues on with this, going to get. We saw what Pittman did against the Dolphins. We saw what Warren did against the Colts. We even saw a little bit of Alec Pierce. Even Adonai Mitchell, they both had quiet games, but they were getting the ball and they were wide open. The Dolphins' defense sucks. Really bad. Kayshon Boutte, Cedric Tillman, those are my sleepers this week. And I would I'm more confident in Cedric Tillman, but Booty, I think, lock that in too.
I like it. Love your picks. Not gonna lie. I'm
I think
gonna
that's
leave it
it
at
for
that.
me. That's all I have.
I thought I'm locking at that because I don't want to force sleeper picks on you guys. Just locking in with Darnell Mooney. And who was my other one? I had Darnell Mooney on the fly, and I had, who else was it? Calvin Austin from the Steelers. Darnell Mooney from the Falcons. What do you call it? Austin from the Steelers. Those are our sleeper picks, guys. Try to start them in your leagues because those are the guys that are going to be coming off your bench most likely. Might even be coming off your waiver wires because honestly, no one was thinking about keeping Mooney on their bench because he was hurt. Is he going to play with the new quarterback? Things like that. And then there was talks about who was the second guy on the Steelers. No one even knew where Calvin Austin was coming from. I thought he was going to be good because last season he played average and he didn't have good quarterback play from my standpoint. But
Calvin Austin did look good last week.
He looked really good.
And if you're in a bind and you're dealing with injuries, I like that pick. What was his? How many snaps did he play last week?
He played a lot. I have to go on sleeper and look real quick.
Yeah,
but I mean, if we're looking for like sleeper picks, guys, obviously everybody's gonna start your top dogs in the league. Like even at running back, your Gibbs and your Saquons and your Henrys, and at receiver, you're gonna start your Chases and your Brian Thomas Juniors and your CD. We're looking at sleeper picks, guys. Obviously, it's gonna be stupid if me and him come on here and say start those guys because who the hell wouldn't? But if you're picking up sleeper picks this week on your waiver wire and you're trying to get them in before Sunday's game, and I don't know if you guys play with a deep bench in your fantasy or a small bench, pick those guys up if you need some. There wasn't a ton of injuries in week 1. Knock on wood. Hopefully the same thing happens in week 2. I don't like injuries. Injuries do dampen the season for not only your fantasy league, but in real life on your actual team. So never wish injuries upon anybody ever. Never wish any harm upon anybody ever. It's just not right. So that's it, guys.
Picks.
I love them. I'm actually looking at those picks more and more. I like those picks. Pick them up in your leagues if you can. If you have a small bench or a deep bench, if you don't have them, store them. If not, pick them up and start them if you need to, guys. Luke, you have anything else to talk about?
When you're setting your lineups, don't overreact to week 1. I mean, we saw it. I mean, if you go back, look back at week 1 last year. I'm pretty sure like Allen Lazard was like a top 5 wide receiver. It's just don't overreact. Set your lineups as you should normally, and go from there. I really do appreciate you guys for listening. Follow us on TikTok. Everything, the long shot and the lock. We're on everything, every platform. We're on TikTok and YouTube the most, but we do appreciate you guys for watching.
Like he said, guys, please do not overreact. Listen to Luke. If you're going to listen to anybody this week, listen to Luke. He's going to be a father. He's trying to give you father advice. He's going to be a father coming January. Congratulations again. He's trying to give you father advice, guys. Don't overreact. Don't go trading your players because they had a bad week 1, guys. Do not do it. It happens to the best of us. We do it every year. We're like, oh, they had a bad week. You trade them, and then all of a sudden they start going off for the rest of the year. And now you just gave the other guy in your league a lethal combination because you panicked. Please don't panic. Ride it out for a couple of weeks before you start making these trades. Wait a couple of weeks in. Usually don't start making trades till like week 4, 5, 6. The first few weeks are always hard to judge who's going to be better. And if you're taking shots in the dark and you're trading away your best players, usually doesn't end well for you. So if you're going to listen to some father advice from Luke, don't overreact. Love you guys. Tune in, watch us, listen to us, show some love, show some support, and see you guys on Tuesday.